I'm going to make this extremely quick. Usually I say I'm going to make it fast, and then I end up like ranting for like 30 or 40 minutes. That's not going to happen right here. Very simple article. 3 reasons to buy Alphabet stock before the stock split. Now, first of all, I will just say really quickly that I have tried to do my best to keep you abreast on stock splits. I've told you about Apple back in 2015. In fact, I could look that up real quick just to remind you because some people didn't. In fact, you may never have seen this video. 2015 stock split Apple, and then I gotta type my name. Yeah, because see, the thing about it is, yeah, I don't let you forget that I told you. So what is this? What is this? Okay, this was when I told you about Apple stock split 1 year ago. This was when I told you about Nvidia announcing the 4-to-1. And years ago, let me see, where is it? Where is it? That's when Apple hit 30 trillion. Okay. It should be here, stock split, Big Truck Series review. Okay, so let me just type Apple. But I told you about it, and I remember telling everybody specifically about this because I remember when I got my friend into Apple because he didn't have any, and this was back in like 2014 or 2015 or something. I don't know where it is, but I know I did it. Shit. Yeah. Let me just go to my, what is it called? My Big Truck Series review Apple. All right, Apple stock. Okay, I know it's here somewhere. Man, Market Watch. I know it's here somewhere. Cause I know it. Oh wait. Nope, that was 7 months ago. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. View full playlist. Because I told y'all about every single stock split that I could tell you about. And this was a long time ago. So that's why it's probably not showing up. So the point is, the problem with a stock split is what ends up happening is it causes a run up into people rushing into that stock split. And when that happens, as you just saw, what happens is that stock rises in value and it makes it more expensive to buy for anybody who wants to go in. So like when I announced it, I was in my car and I was driving and I was telling you about it because I had heard about it and I wanted to make sure you got into it the moment the market opened. As soon as the market opened, it went up like $300 or $400. And after that, it started to go down a little bit. But the thing about it is Google had announced this stock split so many months out. Because you got to remember, the stock split doesn't officially happen until June. However much money that you can get into that stock split for Google, you want to get it into Google. And the simple fact is, Google, and I'm not, you know what, I'll find it and I'll post the link instead of wasting time. The reality is Google, because they own YouTube, because Google is embedded in these schools now because of distance learning with remote classrooms and remote learning Google Classroom, Google is so powerful now. Apple and Google basically have this market carved up between themselves. Apple dominates schools as well with MacBooks. Google dominates the schools with Chromebooks. Microsoft is actually number 3, and Microsoft obviously has, Microsoft Office. Surface tablets are really not purchased in schools. It's really Google and Apple books, Apple MacBooks, and Google's Chromebooks. So the reality is, Apple, Microsoft, and Google. I'm just going to say it just like this. If you're looking for long-term places to park your money while receiving dividends, those are the 3 that you need to focus on: Apple, Google, and Microsoft. Now, I've said this before because I told you that I created my own index as ManGoat, which stands for Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Google, oil stocks, AMD, and Amazon, AMD or Amazon, and then Tesla. Tesla's the T. So what are they saying? They're saying the reasons why you want to buy in now. As of December 31st, Alphabet had a jaw-dropping whatever billion in cash and marketable securities on its balance sheet, blah, blah, blah. Should Alphabet blow even half its cash on an acquisition? Investors shouldn't fear. Alphabet will just generate more of the next year. Throughout 2021, Alphabet converted 67 billion of its 257 billion in revenue into free cash flow. If it doesn't spend its money on acquisitions, management may repurchase more stock. They repurchased 50 billion through 2021. Okay, so forth and so on. The sun is starting to shine through their cloud. Now, I've also showed you NVIDIA is doing this cloud gaming, and they're making it so that in the future, you're going to be able to just buy a television, and the television will have an app for NVIDIA GeForce Gaming, and you'll be able to play games, computer-grade games, on your television without having a video game system like a PS5 or Xbox. To me, that's incredible. Now, I don't know how well it's going to do with multiplayer, because multiplayer can be a little problematic. Single-player games are usually the easiest way to go. But Google, Apple, and NVIDIA have invested heavily into their cloud infrastructure, not only for saving files, but also for gaming. So this is just another reason they show the black guy here, and he's fixing a server. So obviously this must mean that they're inclusionary or something like that. Oh, and by the way, Amazon, Microsoft, and Apple, and Google. Because I also told you, if Amazon maybe does a stock split, and notice, they were up $400 after they reported that they did better than they were expecting in their earnings. Is there a possibility the Dow could crash again, especially with Biden in office? Oh, yeah, absolutely. But the bottom line is, if you don't already own Amazon or you don't already own Google, you should be buying it now. But listen, I understand it's $3,000, but you got to figure it's $3,000 invested to your retirement. Google and YouTube are category leaders. YouTube is pretty much the most powerful video sharing system that there is in the world. I think Pornhub might be also getting close to where YouTube is, simply because, it's porno. But the problem is there's a lot of countries that block Pornhub, and there's a lot of countries that block porn in general on the internet. So, YouTube is always going to be doing better than a porn network. So my bottom line is, these are the industry leaders. As you can see, Google search, 43 billion. YouTube ads is 8.6 billion, and they're still showing year-over-year growth. Altogether, Alphabet's advertising segment brought in 61.2 billion and grew 33% with its Google Network division added in. Okay, so yeah, profit loss ratios and whatever. Some of you care about that, some of you don't. Me personally, my bottom line is, does this company create a product that people want? Does it create a reliable product year over year? And does it have subscriberships that people are willing to stay loyal to? Netflix and a couple of other subscriber services like Disney, they actually were raising prices, and that tells me that there's always a possibility they risk losing some of the people who subscribe to them. Now, during the pandemic, there were a lot of families that bought Disney, not only for the Star Wars content, but also because they had kids at home and they needed some way to babysit them. So the reality is, Disney and Netflix, especially with Squid Games having come out and Netflix having, made so much money off of Squid Games, it's things like that, the original programming, that makes sure these subscriberships are staying healthy. So there's certain companies that when I look to buy their stock, that's what I'm looking for. Do they make a good product? Do they make a great product year over year? Do they make something new and innovative? And the third thing is their subscribership loyal? Those are the three things I look for. Now, there are some people who try to be stock analysts and day traders, and they're just trying to make quick flips. I'm not like that. That's not what I do. My focus specifically is investing. I'm going to be investing at least $10,000 year over year for the next 10 years so that when I retire, I will have 2 portfolios at least, plus real estate, with dividend paying stock paying me a return. So if I do choose to retire in another country, I can do that very comfortably. And that's, again, that's 10 minutes. I said I was going to be short, and that's as short as I'm going to keep this. And you tell me what you think in the comments.